Hi, Leo. What's going on, Chicago? You're going to listen to me very, 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 very carefully. Um, you were elected under my Ori. I like Chicago. And just like I told everybody, once I'm graciously received or delivered from Ireland, where I'm being hunted and persecuted by not only pseudo military but little kids that they're having with guns and shit, because they won't have to go to court, so they have kids running around doing their dirty work. And I can't really do anything about kids, can I? Can't even say anything to a kid these days because they want any reason to push on me or hit it. Anyway, you are in the 11th year of a 14-year holy perdition. You'll notice that exactly 7 years halfway through this, as I warned, like Joseph in the well in Egypt, before Potiphar discovered him, the coronavirus happened exactly in the 7th year of this holy perdition. That was 3 or 4 years ago. Again, as I said, my maths is fine. We're in the 11th year. We're now entering the fourth quarter of that. There's 4 horses, remember? 4 untamable horses that'll drag you through into this perdition. You are now going to be entering a stage of infertility and death. Okay, your balls are going to drop off. Okay, now everything I said so far has happened. I said after the 7th year, you're going to see war and famine on Earth. And you'll notice, ever since coronavirus, you've seen war all over the Earth and probably lots of cost of living and problems with food. Again, this is not superstition or anything. I am not making this up. I am speaking very, very, very seriously to you. I've been hunted and persecuted for, as I said, 11 years by Sinn Féin, IRA, and pseudo-Irish military, running around thinking that they're holy, enlightened, divine saviors and prophets of some new world order. They're sharing and coveting my Ori with Vanderbergs and people from the Rose World in Europe and people from Florida. Pope Francis failed my many confidences and emails that I sent him. President Higgins has also failed in the confidence that I've placed in him. If I get harmed under your ignorance, it'll be your problem. This is why Francis perished and died. Well, I don't think he's dead. He just claimed to be dead. J.D. Vance went around and said that if he died or passed away, that the wars would stop. And I think the Pope just lied, as the gospel truth. You're so truthful. So he just declared himself dead. Pretty much instantly. You notice when you got elected under Maori, the wars suddenly stopped, didn't they? Just like I said they would. You failed in my confidence though because you ignored me. And I've been emailing and messaging ever since, and you still ignore me. So you're failing my confidences now. You notice the wars did stop, just like I said they would when I finally get delivered or graciously received. Let us graciously receive the word of God, yeah, and not let him get disemboweled, hunted, abused. They have false names before me. I'm not Thomas Mahan. They have false witnesses before me. I'm not a murdering, killing, pedo, date rapist. These are all the Irish military names that have flooded into my Ori. Everyone, that's why you also got ginger babies and ginger balls. And actually, well, I was turning a bit ginger. It was because you have ginger Irish rapist military in my Ori. Turns out we are the company we keep. And I'm in very, very bad company in the situation where I am. My passport got stolen when I went to the Vatican City for help. Vanderberg had me bet up and robbed, so I had no choice but to come home on an emergency passport. I also went to Cordoba, desperately trying to seek help. And you'll notice that they said, let Spain be an example to the world, because Spain suffered my absenteeism when I had to leave Spain. I also went to London, who might have suffered my absenteeism. And you might have also suffered my absenteeism in Vatican City when I got bet up, really, really badly beaten and robbed. Sleeping in Termini. So yeah, you're failing my confidences. So you did stop the wars, just like I said they would be stopped, and things will start to reverse, and the order in the world will start to return rather instantly, and it almost instantly did start. The wars in Ukraine, there's ceasefires all over. You failed my confidences though ever since, and the wars are back on. So I'm just letting you know that you need to regain my confidence, and you really need to save me and deliver me and get me the hell out of Ireland as soon as possible. Again, 11th year, 14-year holy perdition, and if it hits 14, there's no going back. You will fall into absolute failure of your covenants with me, or God, or thy Lord thy God. The nominated Lord before thy glory. Yeah, I can't say it any plainer or any simpler. Higgins is ignoring me. They're actually not even ignoring me, they are concealing me. So if you do contact the Irish government or something, or contact the Irish police, they're just going to dissuade you or send a doppelganger or send somebody else instead of me, for me. You'd send your own people. You ought to have my details and email address. I'm obviously not going to post them here because I'll get more infidels flocking to me to get connected to me. You want to see what's going around all around me. They're building houses and everything all around me, and they're killing women and children all around me all the time, trying to get connected to me and screwing with me and overloading me. My top 100, as I do understand, my top 144,000 favorite people on earth won't perish. They'll have white vests. And I don't want to draw any more attention to these things I already have, but my little nephew is very, 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 very white. And there's not much white actually going around in the world at the moment. So yeah, you're failing in your confidences. And your global graciously reception, you're being graciously received all over the world, it won't matter now, because you're failing in my confidences. The confidence I placed in you. So don't fail. Just like I said, the wars would stop as soon as I get delivered or as soon as I get received. And you were part of that when you were elected under my order, my name. I thought you were suitable. Particularly maybe because you spoke English, and for a while there, only the prayers of the people who speak in Portuguese were being listened to. Pope Francis really didn't like the Irish. I don't blame him. I really don't like the Irish anymore. Very, very ungrateful people for what they have. It's a beautiful country and a beautiful place, and very prosperous. Well, that's why Ireland is so scum wealthy, by the way. It's because they robbed my birthright in Norway, and the massive holy fortune that kind of goes with it. Technically, it's everything. I own everything, or anything that I look at or something. I flew by the Pyrenees and I heard like Noel van der Berger saying, "Oh, he owns the Pyrenees now, the French Pyrenees." Again, this isn't a joke. This is a very real situation. What's happening? Coronavirus did happen exactly, or not. I didn't anticipate coronavirus, but I said after the 7th year. See, Joseph was saved in the 7th year, and I was supposed to be saved in the 7th year at least. And you noticed it was grain in Egypt 7 years later. So the fact that we're in the 11th year now means there will be about 4, is it 4? Yeah, 4 years of hell on earth. There will be, necessarily, because you're wasting time. And the IRA and the people concealing me are wasting time. There will be 4 years of hell on earth. If you give me my office, it'll take 7 years to fix these things. I'll just mop. I swear, like Bruce Almighty, I will just mop the floor. That's all I just need to be safe, happy. My friends, my favourite people need to be safe and happy. And I just need to be somewhat productive. Simple, just like Joseph was productive in Egypt and stopped the famine in Egypt. And then his brothers, ironically, came back and they bowed before a stranger where they wouldn't bow before their own brother. And they were redeemed by graciously receiving him. Where they rejected him, threw him down a well, tore his birthright apart, shared it and coveted it, indulged in it for 7 years, and then the whole world turned to, what is this, conquest and woe at the first place. So I was conquested all world leaders, and people came from flooded from all around and conquested upon me. Then there was a period of woe. Then there's I can't remember, geez, I'm really rusty on my studies. I haven't been able to study during this period of jihad, so for like the last 11 years I haven't been able to study. It gets perfect pictures for Nova or Miami or Florida, and I just make them more powerful. So I went through a period of not even thinking, because I get punished for thinking. If I think too much, or verbal thought, or literal thought, I get punished and I can't breathe. You notice not being able to breathe. What's good for him is good for all, and you notice you couldn't breathe during coronavirus. Yeah, I've been disemboweled. Okay, this is my CV. I've been disemboweled like William Wallace. Even so. Okay, I just realised the other day, when I was being tortured on that same event, around the same event in the field, that I thought one of the police officers was sticking his thumb in my lower back kidney, and I thought he was trying to hit some pressure point, you know, like one of these kind of weird techniques to stick your finger in somebody's shoulder or something like that to really make them drop. Turns out I was stabbed. You want to see? I don't know if you can see it. It's a tiny little incision right there. No, you can't see it, can you? It's there. And you can see it in person yourself. And you come and graciously deliver me an emergency passport out of Ireland. And send me to Florence like Hannibal Lecter, and I can teach fine art or something like that. We can do little biblical study groups, and I can tell you all my genius interpretation and exegesis. Exegesis? Yeah, you're going to graciously receive me if you don't want your balls to drop off. So I've already sent so many videos, made so many videos, sent so many warnings. Again, Ireland is very corrupt and under the thumb of Florida or Miami, And you're going to have a hard time getting through to me, I suppose. And even when you do get to me, they'll threaten you. It's like, we'll kill your family. That's what people keep coming to try and help me. And they keep saying, we'll burn your house down, we'll kill your family. And it's almost like John the Baptist. Everybody said, stay away from John the Baptist. But Jesus was brave enough and didn't listen to the warnings and threats and the fine offers of money and power and women. And the whole world will be shared or divided. And just like in Bruce Almighty, eventually in the end, everybody's only going to get $7 from this lottery. Once it's all dispersed evenly, or a little bit of bread. So yeah, I can't make it any more plain or any clearer. Time is very much of the essence, and while you're ignoring me, you're failing my confidences. And if I am harmed, like I was probably harmed under Francis, if I'm harmed under your ignorances, you technically harmed me. Ironically about Francis was kind of blind and lame. When I was in Newcastle Hospital, and I was under see, like, they say it's not real. They say it's not a situation. Even when I said, when it's a Newcastle Hospital, it's a psychiatric shithole. Sorry for me. I said, I'm being hunted by like military and pseudo-military and corrupt police, and they called me paranoid. But at the same time, military set up in the hospital at that time. You know, they keep saying like the things I'm saying aren't real or backed up or validated, but it is a very blatant reality of what's happening around me. Yeah, funny thing that they were. Sorry, I got a crow. I want to see how birds act around me, man. Tell you, and bumblebees and stuff. Okay, sure. While I was under supervision or scientific analysis in Newcastle Hospital, they didn't really notice or appreciate the fact that a blind man named Achilles had his eyesight returned when he was sitting in a bed across from me. A lame man named Tony could walk in my presence. We were sharing a war together. He couldn't walk when he left, but he could walk when I was there. He got really fussy about it. I'm perfectly able to walk now. Blind can see and lame can walk. And I think even a deaf man had his hearing returned in my presence. So again, I'm not full of shit. This is a very, 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 very realistic events and events that are occurring around me. This whole thing started when they witnessed miracles around me in Waterford. The gang were from Wexford, and they witnessed miracles around me. And that's when they started hunting me and chasing me. I told them so many times, just come talk to me. And they're such chicken shit, they just want to stay like Zacchaeus in a tree and spy on me from a distance. So yeah, you're going to come down from your tree and drag Higgins down from the tree. Actually, he'll never be forgiven for what he's done. The pokey penguin nose on Higgins from all the lies he's been telling and all the money. He's like the wealthiest person in Europe or something like that, and he's supposed to have a school teacher's wage. And yeah, anyway, very, very, very corrupt. And the whole country has fallen into absolute. Well, you know, it's very wealthy, but it's very, very terrible now. It's everybody's in. They have the mentality of the IRA gangs, so everybody's on crack in gangs running around playing IRA. And guns everywhere these days, guns, knives and violence. Dublin city centre is an absolute crap hole. Again, America have bought most of Dublin city centre and put up big towers and are kind of ousting out the Irish. Temple Bar, which used to be a lovely cultural hub, is an absolute what's the word? Barren shithole now. From their occupation in the country. Kids are disappearing everywhere. The rate of murder has gone through the roof. There's very, very twisted scenes of people being crucified and murdered all around me. Very, very, very scary. And nobody's talking about it. And I was actually talked about it, and there's like foster families and kids all over the places. And actually had like a refugee place camp for young single men escaping war in like Sudan or Ukraine. And it was like a Holocaust chicken factory. And everybody was protesting it, and they didn't exactly know what they were protesting. There's like, where are all these single men? And they're going in and they're not coming out. And so yeah, I'm not full of shit. This is very much happening all around me, and it's only going to get worse. You have 3 years, and I'm not saying you have 3 years like, oh yeah, I'll have loads of time. Oh, I'll take my time. 3 years. You will do it immediately. You'll do it like it's the most. You do this before you need to go to the toilet. Are you going to? Don't even get on the phone. Even the church are corrupt, because the church were contacted by the IRA or the Mahon boys, and they got in with the church first. So you probably have people within the church. I don't know how many emails I've sent to the church, how many vocation attempts that I've made, and I keep getting rejected and just sent away and just shoot away. Even when I did get shooed away, strangely enough, Francis was on TV the next day and he said, "Don't talk to Irish priests." He was like, "Irish priests are really, really lousy." And Francis also led a probe into sexual misconduct of the IR or of the government or the Gardaí Síochána. And I don't think they probed enough or completed their probe because that's still happening. Indulgences. Yes, these are indulgences. And I'd like to tell, well, you don't want to tell people about it because then they'll start doing it, won't they? It's like that commandment, "Thou shalt not steal," which actually means "Thou shalt not kidnap thy neighbor's spirit babies." And then people will be like, "What the hell does that mean? Thou shalt not kidnap thy neighbor's spirit babies?" We spirit? I didn't know you could do that. Oh, I might give it a go. Man, and the Irish particularly are so bad with stuff like this. When coronavirus hit, people in Ireland were running around using Snapchat, spitting and coughing on each other. That's just the Irish mentality. Coronavirus, like a global epidemic, and the Irish were running around spitting and coughing on each other and recording it. That's the mentality of the people I'm dealing with and the people hopefully we won't be dealing with in the future. So if you can imagine that they have knowledge of these holy indulgences of buggering each other and stealing thy neighbour's spirit children, yeah, they're the worst people probably on earth. Even worse than when these kind of things grip certain countries in Africa. The Irish are worse in their mentality and their cowardliness. They've murdered me over 12 times. They've witnessed this, that I don't die, and they just still pretend like nothing's happening and call me full of shit. They say that I'm just crazy and I'm just making it up, but they have witnessed the fact that I've been murdered over 12 times, and even so, Jesus Christ. Fact of the matter is, what's this? Even so, the end of the last few words in the Holy Bible. Even so, you never know. Jesus Christ. So yep, this video is 16 minutes long. That's even time we've wasted. While you're sitting there, not getting me. It's such a simple thing. Just get me the hell out of Ireland. I don't have any money. I have a few €100 saved in bank. They have me on disability payment, so I'm gonna need just get by the week just with €1 or €2 to spare. And that €1 or €2, I buy my little nephew a little Hot Wheels car, and he's got quite the collection now of pretty cool Hot Wheels cars. Yeah, he'll be fine, believe me. he shall not perish. But I'm just needing to make friends, basically surrounded by anonymity and a coward of people that are constantly rejecting me and being encouraged to reject me. And it's almost like it's methodical. They just tell them now, they're like, "Look at this picture, now spit on him, now say a prayer backwards, now touch wood," and now... Anyway, these indulgences are... they bring a lot of relativity to the Protestant movement, the protest movement, who are protesting Catholics that were indulging. And how do you deal with a situation like this? Adolf Hitler had a kind of solution. You put them all in gas chambers and never talk about it again. This is why they call me Little Hitler as well. But it's a very real situation, and you can't really talk about it, can you? Because again, you're spreading awareness or knowledge and giving people the potential understanding to also indulge in heresy or profanity. And they're addicted to the delicacies of fornication. They're addicted. Do you understand what I'm saying? You sound familiar? Capisce? Revelations, it's all there. And souls of men and souls. And then Babylon will fall and burn, probably at the end of the 14th year. And they'll all be on the shores of a burning world of famine, death, war, plague, infertility. They'll have no more trippy out playthroughs. And they'd be like, "What do we do now without Babylon? What do we do? What life is there now to live?" And it's the children, the generations that are followed, that are going to suffer these indulgences. And it's the children and the children, and all the kids are going to suffer Higgins's foul play, the IRA, Sinn Féin, the Mahon boys, the Rose World, Dutch royalty, Switzerland are involved, Dutch are involved, Norway are involved, Florida are involved. Norway and Florida shared some common dark friarhood with some very twisted old man who I actually, in my intelligence, have destroyed or overthrown, and did a great service to this world. I didn't actually do it myself. I think I came up with the idea how to do it, and the French played it through. I really don't know what a playthrough is. I think it's something very explicit that gets the attention of heaven, like sex or stuff like this. I'm celibate 14 years, and I don't masturbate. To be in like an accidental occasion that happens once a year. One time I was homeless and actually just plonked myself into my tent and accidentally, pardon me. Yeah. Boop, oopsie. So yeah, you're gonna get on your horse or get on the phone or you're gonna do something. Because time is wasting. And yeah, thou shalt surely perish. So yeah, you're waning in my confidences, and you're going to regain my confidence. And then all those white shirts in the Vatican can be validated, can't they, if you befriend me? And then instead of everybody queuing up to spit on me, everybody's going to be queuing up to befriend me. And it's going to be just like royal subjects. Everybody's trying their best to flatter and compliment and befriend to be at the top of the 144,000 list. And it's my happiness will be the happiness of the world, my safety, happiness, and security, and my French royalty, are lazy. They're told like, oh, they just need to be happy, safe, and secure, but they're really lazy and indulgent. And then you notice the French were really lazy and sexually indulgent, and they weren't farming. So it's very much if I'm mopping and making earnest efforts, and I'm not a greedy or indulgent person. Like I will mop. I like working a lot. I like working and teaching. So when I am just happy, safe, and secure working and teaching, the whole world will be happy, safe, secure working and teaching. And I'm going to go to Chicago. I'm going to go guitar shopping with Billy Corgan, and I'm going to go skateboarding with like Powell Peralta, and like just like Disney magic, when all my dreams come true, everybody's dreams are going to be coming true. So there's a lot of positive potential that's been overlooked in this again, while people are selfishly indulging mindlessly. Like they're addicted to it. They just like the Hashashins. They'll kill to regain entry. They will do anything to regain entry. They'll kill women. They'll kill children. They'll kill animals. They're killing chickens on the regular these days because they were killing cattle and geese and things, but they got too much attention drawn to them. Mikey Healy-Ray was even talking about this as I was like, then those military ought to be ashamed, to disgrace themselves. And then some man from Switzerland got up in a suit and started blabbing on about containment issues and necessary protocols that are sodomistic in a way. They have an effect, but they don't actually understand the science of why they have an effect. These are the trousers I was wearing when I was murdered. I don't take them off. I very rarely. Like, I take them off in my sleep. And I wash them, but I've been wearing these for several years now. So yeah, that's it in a 22-minute nutshell. It's a good number, 22. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's very, very, very simple. It's like painfully simple. You just get me the hell out of Ireland and make sure my friends and family. See, if I leave or run away, it leaves my family vulnerable, even more vulnerable. And they're very cowardly minded, so if I do get up and run away, they chase. And just like when dogs start to chase and then bite. So anytime I do try to get away or slip away, which I don't want to do, because when I run or leave kind of in that kind of way, they kind of gain more power if I'm not running, but if I'm being received, not running aimlessly, but if I'm being received or welcome taken somewhere else, it's a bit different. So yeah, I don't know how much more I can do to validate this. I could put a loaded gun to my head, and you'll see the whole world almost grip in terror or concern. They've already done that. So yeah, you're just going to do this painfully simple situation just to get me, my friends, and my family the hell out of Ireland and away from the orc army that are addicted to the power or the potential there. They're not using it properly. They are just they were like, they had Jezebel on their shoulder, and Jezebel was telling them how to exploit me. And if they had actually any biblical studies or preparation for these kind of situations, like knights or priests or bishops or deacons, they would know what not to do. Like I had lots of that, just like Jesus had lots of that in the shoulder, but I knew better. And it's like they'd like tell me something that I realized like stare at a picture of this lady, and I realized that all the women were married. I was like, they're all married women. It's like, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. But they wouldn't have coveted that, and they would do what they're not supposed to do. They were being tested. I was told, like, you're going to need to get a gun to protect yourself. And it's like, no, I'm not afraid. It's like if I got a gun, it would be an admittance to fear, and an admittance to fear is an admittance to atheism. Technically, it's an adultery of atheism. Again, I'm very, very, very strict on myself when it comes to the Bible. Having a gun means you're afraid. And if you're afraid, you've lost your faith in God, and then you've got a good reason to be afraid. So yeah, Yeah, lots of that kind of lovely interpretation and biblical exegesis that I'm very happy to share. Like Andy Anderson, I'm more than happy to teach and tell and share all my understanding. Thy kingdom come. Um, yeah, I suppose to be a bridge and delivery to the whole to understanding, holy understanding. Mine is the pathway to holy understanding, which is the supernal triad, and it would be somewhat closer to thy kingdom come. And I said, if I fall and this collapses, we're all going to be under severity. We're going to fall under Gebera, and then that'll be like a period of war, and then virtually Christianity might fall as well, Tiferet, and then there'll be like a lot of plague and disease, and you notice a lot of plague and disease, or most of the coronavirus affected Christianity. North Korea didn't have any problem whatsoever because they're not a Christian land. Israel were bragging about the fact that nobody of Judaism, or very little people probably of Judaism, there's Pauline Judaism, and like Jesus was Jewish. There's plenty of Jewish people that accept Jesus Christ, but you'll notice yet that they were bragging about it, and then like 40 people of Judaism got squished while they were celebrating. So it was like, that was a bit funny. No, it wasn't funny, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't be bragging about the love of God, or mocking people, or putting people down, or celebrating a global fucking nightmare just because you got off the better end of it. Rubbing it in people's faces isn't very Christian. It isn't very nice. I wouldn't be very appreciative. Anyway, again, 26-minute video and time is of the essence. So, well, it's kind of raining today, so I've got no skateboarding. But you'll actually notice that I actually asked God, and because it was kind of washed up like Noah, and I was like, really, what am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do? And I just got take care of your nephew and focus on skateboarding. And I was like, oh, come on, man, give me some real fucking work, like, Elijah, like, chop their head. And I wouldn't harm anyone, I'm vegan. But, I really needed some proper, I was like, really, no, just concentrate on being a good uncle and skateboarding. And I realized those two things are the two things that make me genuinely happy. I was like, oh, my happiness would be the happiness of the world. So me just being happy will be because taking care of my nephew and skateboarding are things that just absolutely just take me away from, or distract me from what's going on. Like, I'm living in so much torment and constant buggery. Like, you've no idea the pain in my bowels and stomach and how they attack and things they do. In fact, affect my organs in different ways. And I could barely breathe most of the day. Them chanting my name backwards and stuff like this. Like, you walk by kids on the streets these days and you go, I can't say it because they didn't know my name. But anyway, these kids these days just walk by me and they're saying my name backwards. And it's just like, this is getting out of hand, man. This is just getting so bad. Yeah, good old Paddy's Army. Well done. The Irish, you're just looking stupid and ashamed is what you do best. You're going to be doing, like, really excelling in your your assumed qualities, or yeah, you're going to be really sorry. Like in like South Park and all, or was it just like I don't know if you've ever wondered why they persecuted, hunted, and murdered, and defamated, and did really, really nasty things to Jesus Christ. And, look at yourself, Ireland, and you can give everybody else some wonderful insight as to why they persecuted, hunted, murdered, urinated on, stabbed him in the kidney as well. He was stabbed in the kidney in a prison cell, and he didn't die. And again, they just didn't talk about it. Yep. So, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Amen. Ayin. It's kind of Hebrew. Ayin. So yep, get on the pony, because the horses are going to be dragging you down. And yep, your balls will be dropping off very shortly now. We're in the final quarter of Holy Perdition. So it's Nephilim period. That's what Nephilim is. Again, I'm only an amateur in my Hebrew studies, but I'm pretty sure Nephilim means name not spoken. Peh is that word. Nephilim. So God won't know the names of your children. And you'll have little ginger IRA babies, little rapist, murderer, terrorist babies all over the world. Nephilim, name not known. So if they're not stillborn or deformed, they're going to be little IRA babies, because that's the company in my orrery at the moment. So we're going to get me away from Vandenberg and Rosenberg and these towers of Florida that have the little orc army of the IRA chasing me around. Catch the pigeon. It's just like Catch the Pigeon. They keep trying different techniques to just kill me and attack me and hunt me around. I'm just zipping around on my skateboard. Meep, meep. Yeah, and it's just one big joke. and the joke has to stop because it's not going to be funny. Well, it might be funny when your balls drop off. So yeah, save your balls. Take Francis as a good warning of what happens when you fail in my confidences. Like I really, really fell in. You're gonna see how much how much I didn't like Francis towards the end, and yeah, you'll notice Francis's balls probably dropped off. He didn't look too healthy, did he? So yeah, keeping my confidence there, Chicago, and yeah, get it done today. Yeah, today, on any given Sunday. Yeah, get it done today. Yeah, seriously. I really don't think I can specify or nail this and really, really hone it into really listen very, 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 very carefully to me. Yeah, get it done immediately today. You can fly to Ireland today yourself, and you could come and collect me personally yourself to make sure you get it done, or send out the redcoats, or send out some sort of knighthood or deacons or bishops that you can trust and get the job done and get me out of here. An emergency passport, and yeah, and out of Ireland and somewhere safe. My friends and family, if they want to leave, you see, yeah, well, yeah. They went through my Ori and birthright, and they found all my friends and family and any girl that I've ever, in any way, had an emotional or, like I used to have like a crush on like a porn star or two when I was young, and they're like dead or being hailed as snow queens now. All my ex-girlfriends are all being recruited and hunted, and I've been treated like prostitutes in some hash-sashing harem. I don't watch porn anyway, by the way. I hate porn. I actually really want to get rid of the world of pornography altogether. It's not sex education. It's really, and it's one of the things that corrupted so much social values. What people expect and what people think sex is about. Or anyway, I'm getting off topic. Yep, do it. You know the victory. Nike means victory in Latin or Greek, and the slogan for Nike for victory is "Just do it." So really, like, just do it. It's a very affordable folly as well at the same expense. So I've been trying to appeal to like Trump or to Putin. It's a very affordable folly. A very, very affordable folly. If you want wars to stop, you may as well just give it a go and see what happens. And again, the demonstration is in the fact that if you were elected under my name, the wars did stop rather instantly when you got elected. All the wars suddenly hit ceasefire, and it looked like everything was calming down for a bit. And I was kind of happy about this, but at the same time, I was still left in the shadows, being buggered and tormented and persecuted by the IRA and Vandenbergs and all their recruitments and conspirators. And anybody I pass by on the street, say if I pass by someone in the street and like, girl's like, oh, he's kind of cute, she's fucked. She's going to be absolutely fucked. She's going to be recruited, and they're going to go out to the Grove pub, which is like a click or two down the road from me, where they have their magical little harem, and they're educating everybody how to bugger me, and they all think they're enlightened or welcomed and going to be part of some star, and it's theft. That's what people do when they steal stuff. They share it among them equally. Like if it was Vandenberg's or Damien Rosenberg or whatever his name is, they wouldn't share it, particularly with the vulgar Irish public. They would very much covet it and conceal it for themselves. They're sharing it because it's not theirs. They're thrashing it and defiling it because it's not their mansion to trash and defile. And then when the whole thing's burnt down, they're not going to care. They're just going to walk away. It's like, well, we had a good time while it was there. And I'm just going to be standing there in a ruined, stinking, burnt down house, spray painting a slogan on the wall, which might ring a bell with you all. So yeah, get it done. Get it done today. Just do it. Do it now. Please attend.